Let's do a short test of the Minelab Equinox 800 with the stock 11-inch coil on it and the Nokta Simplex stock coil on it. And I'm going to test it off in the garden here on a 3-inch deep coin that I used. I tested out the Simplex. I had another video with the Simplex SV24 and the Smart Coil 6-inch, and both machines were performing very good on that 3-inch dime. But let's do another test. I have the Equinox gain at 22, and I have the Simplex jacked all the way up, and there's no noise coming from the Minelab. I'll unmute this Simplex here just for a second. Okay. Let's test that one out in a minute. Okay, I'll just mute that for now, okay? So I'm not going to factory preset it right now, but I'll show you the settings that I have that are going to affect it to be able to hit this target the most. And that's iron bias and the modes. And I noise canceled already. This is that 3-inch deep dime that all my detectors have been struggling on hitting in the iron. There's lots of iron here. So I don't have my iron on. I'll turn my iron on to show you. Just massive iron everywhere, right? And I'll turn the iron off for now, because I'm going to do that the same with the Simplex there. And I'll turn the iron off, right? Spanking that dime, 3 inches deep in the iron, big time iron. Oh yeah, it's liking that angle. Still hitting it. Still hitting it, right? This coil, this 11-inch coil, is actually doing better than the Smart Coil at this angle right here. I'll give it a little wiggle. Right? The wiggle that they always been talking about, the Minelab, the Equinox. You give it a little shake and you get a little better signal on there. But I've noticed that having this humongous arm cuff on there, you don't have very much control on it because it just wants to just go like this, just everywhere, you know. I think once my other smaller steel arm cuffs come in, I'll be able to bend that so it can fit my arm a little bit tighter, so I don't have to grab the freaking handle grip so tight and get the wobble on it, you know, to get it to hit, right? I just gotta get it down, but it's still hitting it. 22, 23, you know, still hitting it. Just loves that angle right there for some reason. Still hits it all the way around it, man. If I give it a little wobble here, see, it's still hitting it. I'm still getting really good numbers on it too. See, numbers. It's a dime, 3 inches deep and really thick iron. So it's hitting it all the way around. The 6-inch coil was not hitting it very good. And I tried all the frequencies, the modes, adjusted my settings, you know, to be able to hit it. And it just wasn't hitting it nearly as good as this 11-inch coil here, the stock coil. And now I'll switch it over to Park 2 mode. Just spanking it like there's no tomorrow, man. Look at that, just spanking it. And the 6-inch coil I wasn't able to hit it this way, going this way. In any mode, any frequency, all the settings. The 6-inch coil just was struggling with it big time. Give it a little wobble there. Get a good grip on it. Give it a good wobble there. It'll still hit it, you know. I just have to grab it really hard. And if I'm working the dump or I'm swinging really fast and I have to grip my, you know, put a really solid grip on it because I have this huge handcuff there, my arm will end up getting fatigued, you know, if I'm hunting for 12 hours, which I do a lot of. Just spanking that thing like there's no tomorrow, man. Just spanking in the ground. It's amazing this big coil is doing this good in the iron right here. And Now I'll change the mode here to field mode. Field 1. Look at that, just killing that 6-inch coil, man. This 11-inch stock coil is killing that 6-inch coil on this target. Oh, just on this target, you know. Still hitting it, 20, 20s, 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 right. Still banging it tough. And there's a lot of iron around here, you know. So this field mode is going to get a lot of deep iron here, you know. There's just a lot of deep iron here. And I have my gain up pretty high, so I can just drop it down here to a reasonable level. And it should do a lot better here with the iron off. Look at that, just killing it, man. Killing that coin. Just killing it. I'll turn my iron on, because I usually have my iron on. Just with the iron on. Just ripping it apart. Ripping it apart, man. I'm very surprised that that's hitting it that good. This big coil hits it better than any other machine that I've ever had. With all my coils, with my Amphibio, with my Simplexes, my V3i, my MXT, my MX Sport. This one is hitting it the best. But I'll go to field 2 here, and it's gonna be really unstable here. I'll turn the gain down just a little bit here. But it just rips it apart, man. Look at that, just killing it, man. But a lot of this iron over here, you know, it's actually pretty quiet. I'll turn the iron off. There might be some dimes and just all kinds of relics in here, because I found a lot of relics in here anyway. But it's just ripping that dime apart. I like that. I like that a lot. And I'll pick up the Simplex here and unmute it. Hopefully it's not going to go crazy. It's not. Yeah, I'll have to turn that machine off there. That's the whole thing with the Simplex, man. If you have this around any other machines or any EMI, you are gonna get a lot of EMI, man. Park 1. I get a dead zone right here. Getting nothing there. Right, park 1. Just a little dead zone there, but it's hitting it hard all the way around it. So it's much more evident with the Simplex. I mean, this is just turn it on and go, man. I don't have to adjust any settings. Full gain right here. You know, just killing it. Just slaughtering that coin. Right? '80s, 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 right? '90s, '94, '88. I'll go with this iron over here. And my iron volume is at 1 right now. I normally don't have it at 1. So I'll adjust that iron volume up to 2 bars. It's what I normally like it have it at. So it's performing very well. Now I'll go into field mode right here. It's gonna struggle on that. Still, actually, I'm getting 30s tones, 30s and 40s numbers there. But it could be a nail over here. I think it's a nail. I think it's a nail on the surface there. I'm not gonna mess with that. The field mode with this big coil on it, jacked up all the way, it just slaughters it. But it also slaughters all these nails here too. There's a bunch of nails on the surface, so it's hitting on all those nails on there, and they sound just like that dime right there at 3 inches. because the diamond's deeper than all those nails on the surface and all that stuff in the soil there. And now I'll go to Park 2 mode. Jacked all the way up, sensitivity's all the way up. Still getting 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s. Now I'm starting to get to where there's no, I'm actually getting a 40s signal, 40s and 50s there. Just 90s, 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 just the 70s, 60s, 40s, 60s, 80s, 60, 69, 70, something. 82, 86, 85, 97, 85, 87, 97. So there's not really much difference between these machines, man. It's all about your preference, man. Really, it's all about your preference. You know, switching your coils out is important. And knowing your detector, the Simplex is super easy, and I can throw the Simplex around. You know, I can kick it around. It's not going to break. You know, with the Equinox, I can't beat it up like that, so I have to dig a little bit slower. I have to be really aware, you know, about not stepping on my coil, because I'll show you something here. Oh, let me put my camera on my head. It might flop around a little bit here, but I'll show you just the difference in quality of these detectors here. Just a little bit of quality of the detectors, right? This Simplex right here coil, you know, it moves around, but it doesn't wobble one bit. I mean, I'm reefing on that thing. It doesn't wobble any bit, man. It's just durable. It's sure it's flimsy. I mean, sure I can bend it like this, but I think that's why it's so durable, because it bends. It's flimsy, right? And I can throw this thing around there. It's never gonna break, man. I have thousands of hours on that Simplex. And with this machine here, you know, see, it moves around, but look at this. Look at how wobbly it is, right? So I really have to be aware about dropping this or stepping on this coil here, because it will break. These things are notorious for breaking right there, right? And they're notorious for, you know, getting the wobbles, getting the shaft wearing out, but not this Detecting Innovations coil is really good. Yesterday I did have it fail on me when I was out in the middle of the forest out there, and my shaft kept on slipping out the end there, and my lower shafts would just fly out in the air there, and it would yank this cord down here, and that's not really good for the machine, having all that weight being yanked on this cord right here. You can see it wobbles a little bit right here when I wiggle this right here. You know, the whole unit moves here, so I don't know how durable this is right here. But this ended up failing on me yesterday. I had to come back home early because it just kept on slipping. It just wouldn't stay tight. But I did tighten it up a little bit more. The first day it started slipping on me, and then I tightened it up, and then yesterday it was doing the same thing. It just kept on coming loose out of the shaft there. But, you know, I just got to get it to where it's going to perform for me, you know, out in the field. So I don't have equipment failures out in the field. But I will be getting different. I have a couple handcuffs already coming in for it that are smaller than this, because this is huge. I'll compare them right here. I'll just show you having control over your detector. Look at the size of this, you know, and this one spreads out really easy. This one, it's just so big, you know. Sure, it might be good when I have like 3 coats on, like in the middle of winter, but the Simplex, you know, it stretches out, you know, and I still have a really tight fitting there. So when you do the wobble, you know, when you do the wiggle, the Minelab wiggle, you know, it's not wobbling all over the place. You know, you have to grab it really hard on the hand grip there and get the wiggle there, and it's still just wobbling, just all loose and everything. And the Simplex, you know, I don't have to do those wiggles. You know, the Simplex just hit it like that, just swinging slow like that, and it was hitting it fast too. Well, this is Paystreak Superfreak, Prospector Jeremy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.